chairs. Talking to myself. Hello. So if someone does catch the rerun, we just went to church. Diego and I just went to church, literally just over here. It was really nice. So we've been to 3 church services now, and we're not even religious, in the last 2 weeks that we've been here. We're about to go home tomorrow, the next day, Tuesday. But Sunday here in Samoa. We are on the island of Savaii. It's so beautiful here. This is my little rustic bungalow over the water. Having a cup of tea. Well, I'll tell you about my experience going to church. So, like I said, I'm not overly religious. I do believe that there is a higher power, but I believe not in one religion. I believe that every religion has some beautiful things. I think I really do enjoy the Buddhism religion, and I was baptised Christian, Lutheran. My mum used to drag us to church as young kids, and we would just sit there and play games. In today's society, watching the kids at the service, they were like climbing over the pews. They were kind of cute, just staring at us going, oh, what are they? And then there was another kid. He was literally just watching his phone. Was watching a video. So yeah, it was really, really nice. The singing was really loud, and yeah, it was beautiful. Like, it's nice to listen to other languages sing. The whole sermon was in Samoan, so I didn't understand a thing. There was a church organ playing, some of the music I kind of actually did. It was one of the kind of main church songs, but yeah, as I said, didn't know the words or anything like that. But yeah, it was an experience, and it was really pretty. I sing in English. Is that considered fancy? I don't know. Well, not everyone speaks English, so... Well, where are you from originally? Streakman71. I'm in Samoa, and I was just saying that I've just went to a church down here. There's another fancy church just here. I'm Dora from Exploradora 80. My goal is to see 80 countries with this channel. I am up to country 61, and that is Samoa. So that is where we are now. Diego is my partner. He's inside. We're staying in a little rustic bungalow over the water. Much cheaper to stay in an over the water bungalow here than in the Maldives. And yeah, it's a lot cheaper here than the Maldives. Only 4 hours away from Australia, so that's nice and easy. But I'm just talking about my experience going to a church service here. I am not highly religious. I don't go to church every Sunday. I'll go to weddings and funerals and things like that. But yeah, I haven't been to a church service for a long time. Other than here, I've been 3 times now, and we've only been here in just under 3 weeks, under 2 weeks. So the first day we actually were in Apia, the capital of Samoa. We saw this amazing, beautiful Catholic church, and it was just stunning. We walked in and had a look, which you're allowed to do, and there was a church service going to be in 10 minutes, so we thought, oh, we might as well wait. So we saw a Catholic church service. That was interesting. And then we've been staying in a little village on the beach, staying in these really nice chalets. And chalets are basically bungalows that really have no walls. They have tubs on 3 sides, and then it's open to the beach, so you get the wind coming through. It's pretty rustic, but they have mosquito nets over the bed, so that's pretty cool. But we went to that village to the church service on a Sunday. Samoa is very, very religious. Christianity came by a guy called John Williams. A couple of days ago, we went to a ministry church. If you look at one of my lives, you'll see a church that was engulfed by lava with an eruption many years ago. So that was pretty interesting to see the old church, but the church was set up by a guy called John Williams. And we also went for a dive the other day where we dived on the old missionary boat that John Williams came on, but he didn't die. No one died on the boat. The villagers came out in the canoes and saved him. But he spread the word of God to the islands of Samoa. There's 2 main islands of Samoa. Apparently he went to Tonga and Tahiti also, and spread the word. But it was interesting. So yeah, it kind of all ties in. And the Dora, the explorer that I am, you want to explore different experiences. So I guess going to a church service is an experience. Hi, call me Arctic. How are you? Did you hear me just talking about the church service I just went to? The church service was just over here. So we can actually kayak over there. It's actually high tide, so we probably should take advantage and kayak over there at the moment. And there's a reef in front of that. Hi, call me Arctic. So basically I was just talking about going to a church service. We're at the moment in Samoa, the island of Savaii, which is the biggest island in Samoa. Samoa, I don't know if you know, but it's a Pacific island country, and Christianity is huge here. So there are churches everywhere. So a lot of Catholic Christian churches, and it's called, I believe it's Mormons that they practice on a Saturday. So particularly this area here, a lot of the stuff was closed yesterday, being Saturday, the day of rest, where in other parts of Samoa, mostly Sunday is the day of rest, because that's when the church service is, and that's, the family day. So yeah, it was interesting. Are you still listening? Do you want me to tell you a little bit more about the church service? I'm not highly religious. I don't go to church every Sunday. I go to church for weddings and funerals, and I was a godmother for a friend, so those kind of things. So, but I went to the church service as a experience. I'm a traveller. I want to experience a country. So, when you go to a country, you don't want to just stay at a resort and, go for a swim at the beach. You want to go out of the resort or the location you're staying and see what's out there. So that's my ethos in life, is to travel 80 countries and see what the country's about. Where are you from? Call me Arctic. So, going to a church service, because church is so, that's so important here in Samoan culture, is really, a must do. So I've been 3 times now. I went to a Catholic church. They have mass every day. So it was just a random day that we walked into the church and they were having a service in the next 10 minutes. Okay, America. Okay, so obviously America is very much like Australia. That's where I'm from, Australia, if you haven't picked up on my accent. We're not highly religious people. I mean, there's certain areas, I'm sure, in America that are religious. Talking about America and, experiencing going to churches, I'd really like to experience like a gospel church in Louisiana. I don't know where you're from in America, call me Arctic, but have you ever been to a gospel church and, hear them sing? I think that'd be amazing. So the singing over in the church it was quite nice. It was kind of, I have never been to a gospel church in America, but it's the closest I've been so far, like the sound and it was beautiful.